Today's guest is from Westerville, Ohio, and went to the University of Michigan State as a wide receiver. He finished his college career as the all-time leader in receptions, yards, and second in TDs in school history. He's a second team All Big Ten and won a Big Ten championship. Was drafted by the Miami Dolphins in the 6th round of the 2012 draft. Spent 3 years with the Eagles before coming to the CFL and the Montreal Alouettes for the past 5 seasons. Can you believe it's been that long?
That's crazy.
Welcome to the show, BJ Cunningham. What up, brother?
My dog, what's up with you, man?
Man, I'm smooth. And, it's crazy. I was talking to somebody the other day, and I was like, I was talking to Suddy. When Suddy retired, I called him and, congratulated him on his retirement. And he was just asking me, I said, man, can you believe it's been 6 years since, when I first got to Montreal? Like, that's crazy. And that was your first year in the CFL.
Crazy, bro. I remember when I got there, I was like, bro, because I ain't gonna lie, I looked up who y'all were. I knew who y'all was when I got there. You, SJ, Fred. So I was like, man, I was in the locker room with some legends in my first year. That was a blessing for me. You feel me? But nah, man, it was a different transition. I'm glad I had y'all to help me with the transition, bro, because it was definitely different for me. And man, like I said, I'm blessed to be here, man. I was blessed to learn from y'all, boy. That shit was crazy.
Yeah. What you been doing to stay busy during COVID, man? How's that been?
Man, I've been, of course I'm staying in shape, man. That's number one. But man, I've been reading a lot. I picked up The Alchemist, man. It was recommended to me, so I picked it up and reading it. I've also been training kids in the Montreal area with my boy Scotty McDonald. He played with us in Montreal. He got his little thing. I seen him on Instagram. I was like, yeah, let me figure out how I can help with y'all and the kids. So I just linked up with him, and we linked up with some other guys in the city, bro, and it was on from there.
What's the best part about training the kids for you?
Man, seeing them develop, man, seeing them get better, taking what I taught them and them translating it to the drill or to the route or on the field when they send me clips of them. That's what I like to see, them growing. And that's my satisfaction of it, seeing the kids get better, and you know how it is, just seeing them do their thing, bro. It's amazing to see.
It's also good that, I know a lot of Canadian kids, so many Americans go back and forth, right? Yeah. For me, for the largest part of my career, once I got my house built in Texas, I was going back within 2 weeks after the season. So to be able to get that training, the good training, to be able to get some good work out on the field and to work with some pros is always a good thing. How long you been staying in Montreal for?
Man, as far as what, like off season or?
Yeah, like off seasons and everything. I know you go back and forth sometimes to Florida and things, but how long you been? So have just been just COVID, or what's the process?
Yeah, it was really mainly COVID, and then it just extended, and I wasn't really in a rush. I found a good situation up here with my guy. He has a whole gym and turf and everything, so I've been getting right with him. But I used to do the same thing, bro. When I first got up here, I was going straight back to Florida, getting right, coming back up, straight back to Florida, coming, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, and then I feel like, how you say everything happened for a reason, man. It gave me a chance to, like I said, I've been here for a while in Montreal. I wanted to at least, when I do leave something, you know what I'm saying? And this will be it, you know what I'm saying? And get some kids to, grow up and want to, because in Canada, it's like, yeah, they watch the CFL, they watch the NFL, but it's like, shoot, I can get to the CFL. Like, I can do this. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, and that's what I'm trying to hone into. I'm like, bro, you can get to the NFL. Like, you can do that too. Like, but I'm just trying to hone that in. Like, it's realistic, man. Like, I was always taught, like, but what do you really want to do? What do you really want to do? Like, growing up, I used to be like, yeah, okay, I'll be a firefighter or something. But in the back of my head, I knew. In the back of my head, I knew, like, nah, I'm going to the league. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I see that in kids. I see the drive, and I just want to help them get on the map and get the driving, bro.
Yeah, and it's, we'll talk about your process through your journey of growing up in high school, college, and pros and that whole section. But just the journey of it. I always look at the journey, and even I go through mine. It's like how many, things that needed to fall in place for that situation to happen. But also just a mindset around it. People don't realize that pro football really isn't about the talent. The talent doesn't really separate you that much. You get a guy like LeBron, and yeah, you can see that. But then now he's putting $4 million a year into his body. So he's able to stay fresh and do it for longer. But for most people, it's not about the talent, right? It's just about being able to process and do consistently over and over and over and over and over, right? So to give that information to the younger generation, to help them miss some roadblocks that you might have hit, is just invaluable to them and their growth. Do they speak English? Do you speak French? How's the French coming along?
Man, I'm still on the polite phase. I can be polite, but I try to talk slow. Right.
Oui.
Parlez-vous français? But nah, man. Yeah, I try and talk slow so they understand me. But most of them, they speak English, and they're doing real good too. They understand me well. And I've never seen like as a kid growing up, like, because I'm in communication with parents, of course, but like kids are hitting me up. When can I train? When can I train? When can I? Like as a kid, I wasn't doing that. Like, I also didn't have access to people like this. But at the same time, I like the drive. I'm seeing the drive, like, and that's the kids today with the social media and stuff. They're easy to get a hold of. They know where they can find you, and you know what I'm saying. So, but I do like it because it's you're a click away, and they can ask, you can get information from you, and it's blessed, bro.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about growing up. Where is Westerville, Ohio? Where's that located at?
All right, so it's like right outside of Columbus. So I grew up in Columbus, Ohio, and then I ended up moving to Westerville probably like my junior year in high school. But I was in Westerville school. My mom, because it was a good school system, decent school system from the it was still a public school, but it was different from like an inner city school, super inner city school. You know what I'm saying? Good balance, but still like,
in Texas, if you're in like the Fort Worth ISD or Dallas ISD, everybody shares funds. But if you're right outside, then that community kind of all the funds for school go to that community. So it's usually a pretty good thing. So
it was a good balance though. It was a good balance because we lived in the area, but we used one of my best friend's family's addresses to go to Westerville. So it was like it was, so we was cool. So, but then we finally moved there, moving on up. We moved there out to Westerville, like my junior year of high school or so. My mom still lives in that house to this day. But
awesome.
but yeah, man, Westerville, good city, man. Our basketball team, we didn't send a few guys to the NBA recently in the last few years. High school, we always football, we always send guys D1. We got some D1 guys. So it's been a good feeder since, the class before me left. Lance Moore. You remember Lance Moore from the Saints?
I remember Lance.
Lance, Nick, them guys kind of those brothers, they set the tone kind of at my high school, and Lance and Nick set the tone, and then we just took off from there, bro. It was dope.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, growing up right outside, my brother went to a school called Aledo in Texas, which is like 15 minutes from downtown Fort Worth. So it's right outside. And that's probably the best education you're going to get is in those suburbs right outside of the cities.
Right outside
and things
the city,
like that. So, yeah. So most people don't know this, but you grew up playing soccer.
Yeah, man, that was my first love. Yep.
Talk more about getting into soccer. And were you playing soccer and football at the same time, or was it just soccer?
It was just soccer. Like I started playing soccer at the age of 4, because my dad was like, let's get him on the football field. My mom like, wait a minute, like, getting injured and breaking bones and shit. So she was like, let's put him in soccer. It was all right. And then I just was like, all it is kick, run. So I was just kicking and running, kicking and scoring all the goals. My dad was like, hold on, wait a minute. Like, let's take this serious. So they put me in like a little. They took me to some field. Some guy, kind of like what I'm doing. Some guy, he was probably charging like $5, giving kids soccer lessons. He probably didn't know what he was doing though. Like, I'm just out there kicking the ball around. But nah, it worked out, man. I ended up like playing like club soccer. Like I was traveling around the country, like AAU. I was playing AAU basketball and club soccer. So each season, I was traveling the country playing a sport, man. And I
That's
feel
awesome.
like soccer got my footwork so right. I feel like on that end, just natural footwork. I got to travel. I went to Europe, man. When I was like 13, like the Scandinavia, like Iceland, Sweden, like that area, Denmark. You know what I'm saying?
What was that like at 13 years old to go over there to play soccer?
Bro, it was amazing, man. I went dope. Parents was like, "Yo, you out?" They sent me with the team and stuff. Like, it was amazing, bro. Like, we got our butts whooped, but but it was a good experience. Though I got to see the talent around the world. I was like, "Oh, they nice out here." Like,
So your club
real.
team traveled all around, or?
No, so it was a separate. Like, you kind of had like you got recruited, and you had kind of go like a little like tryout series, and then like we had to fly to Baltimore, and like it was a whole like they recruit you, got different guys from the country to go play. It was like almost like a junior USA team, but it wasn't called that, but that's kind of what it was. You know what I'm saying? And it was real exclusive kind of, but we went up there and we saw the talent. It was a team from Bolivia called Taiwichi.
You still remember the name?
What? I ain't never gonna forget that name. It'd be just like 9-1, bro. That game was crazy. But no, it's a great sport, man. I loved it. I feel like it gets you ready for any sport. But no, it was a great experience for sure.
So that personal trainer that you had, did you get other personal trainers once you started getting to the level of that, or did those teams, did they supply anybody for you? Like, what was the personal development like on your side of things for you once you started hitting the levels of traveling to different countries?
Man, honestly, no, it was just practice with my team and coaches. It wasn't no extra training outside of that. Like playing soccer, I would go to the field myself and just kick the ball around and do cones and stuff. But I wasn't like nobody. Once I found out how the structure of how to play soccer, I found out like the guy that kind of taught me how to play, he was all right, but he wasn't like, I see why he was charging $5 pretty much. You know what I'm saying? He's trying to get kids out the house, which I feel like. But now I just really just learned on my own and just because my parents, like, I ain't gonna lie, club soccer costs a lot of money, man. So my parents were stretching, it costs bread. So like that was my personal training. Like that was it, getting me to practice. I had to ride home with people, get picked, you know how it go. Like, you know what I'm saying? So
soccer might be one of the most expensive sports to play, like in club level.
Yeah, in hockey, I feel like all the equipment.
Yeah,
I feel, but traveling wise, it's like traveling wise and like, yeah, it's up there. And that's why when I quit, my parents was pissed. That was like my mom, my dad was mad.
Yeah, my sister, she plays college soccer now, and she was on club teams in high school, and so I know how all that goes, man. It's soccer was my first love too. I love soccer. I still do. I still watch it on TV. Who's your favorite soccer player?
Man, growing up, I was a Pele guy, Ronaldo guy. Now I'm a Messi. I love Messi, bro. I'm left-footed.
Yeah.
He's left-footed. He just nice with it. His place kicks be crazy, bro. He's just hey, Cristiano nice too. I like his game, but if I had to pick one, I'm going with Messi. Like,
yeah.
I gotta go with Messi.
When I was growing up, it was always Didier Drogba, and so when he came to Montreal, when he came to Montreal, that was pretty big for me to be there at the same time and to see him and meet him that one time was pretty cool. So you a Barcelona fan as well?
Somewhat. I don't really like. I try.
Follow teams.
Really can't. I don't be following teams like that. I just like players. The same with NBA and NFL. Pretty much. I just like follow the players and see how they go.
Yeah, you just follow LeBron.
Bro, yeah, I'm a LeBron fan. No, LeBron. See, I had to mix it up with the sports. Got me. Yeah, I'm one of them. I don't care.
No, but it's cool though, because when you look at all that you experience, and you said you start traveling to different countries at 13, 14 years old, that's a lot of experiences at such a young age to find success, right? You know, a lot of people, it takes a long time to find that success, and you started finding it really early in soccer. When did you make the decision that football was going to be your sport? Like you said, your parents got upset with you when you made the final decision, but when was that, and why did you choose football over soccer?
I'll take it back. I don't want to say they was upset. It was just more so like, dang, bro, we done invested all this time and money. More so like that. Like, and I get it.
Yeah,
Totally
yeah,
get it.
yeah.
It's not like they was mad and didn't want to support me. They still had they had that. I had their 100 support, whatever. But damn, what was the question again?
I was just asking, when did you make the decision to go play football?
Oh yeah,
And
yeah,
then
yeah.
why did you choose football over soccer when you had so much success in soccer early?
This is why, man. I'm gonna keep it real. I told you so. I played soccer, club soccer, but mind you, I was playing basketball too the whole time. Like basketball, AAU, traveling the country with my AAU team also. So that's kind of like two different extremes as far as culture. You feel what
Yeah,
I'm saying? And I loved soccer. Like I loved it. You know what I'm saying? But it was just different. That's just like, I couldn't relate with a lot of people on my soccer team, and it was cool. By the time I got to high school, this is when I felt like I had to make a decision. So my freshman year, I played varsity as a freshman, led the team in goals, whatever, whoop, whoop. And then, but I had no fun. It was not fun at all. Like, it was probably like I would have probably cool. One of the guys, yeah, probably one of my best friends now, Brandon. He was on the team. That's it. Like I had
and
like
then you
one friend
just
on. Nobody was coming to the games. I'm like, bro, this is weak. Bro, I'm scoring all the goals. They're not even announcing it on the, in the morning
at the
announcements. They're
school.
like, yeah, like I had a hat trick. Nobody cared. I'm like, bro, where the look? Meanwhile, I'm seeing like all these like unathletic kids on the football team with their jerseys on at school. I'm like, bro, what's going on? I'm like, man, I'm athletic. I'm better. It was more so like, I think I'm more athletic than all y'all. I'm about to come over here and see what's good. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of a point. I was kind of trying to prove a point. I was like, man, y'all getting all this love. Let me move out the way. Let me see if I can do this. You know what I'm saying? Like, not like talking to him like that in my head. I was like, man, you know what I'm saying? So, and it was like soccer was just, it stopped being fun for me at the time. And I couldn't relate to my guys on the team. I could relate to more guys on the football team and basketball team. And it was just it was kind of irking me a little bit.
You play
I might
forward
have
in
been,
soccer,
I played midfield, bro. So I was running.
midfield.
I played left mid. Yeah. So yeah, I was like, I was bad at getting back on defense, but I was nice when I was nice with the pill coming down though, coming back. That's why I feel like as I got older, I might have been a good defender instead of, as you get older, you go like to defense.
Yep.
But yeah, so that was like my like, then the quarterback of the football team, he was on the varsity basketball team with me. You know what I'm saying? He was like, hey bro, you should come play football. Like, I'll get you right. I'm gonna throw you that pill. I was like, all right, boom. I was like, say less. Then I remember it was at lunchtime. He was trying to recruit guys to come home and play football. And I was like, all right, I'll try it, see what happens, see what they talking about. And then I didn't even play receiver my first year, bro. I played corner. And I was on JV, bro. I was on junior varsity, not even on varsity my sophomore year. My first year playing football, playing corner. And then I played one of the starting receivers got hurt right before the playoffs. And you know how you in high school, if you're a DB, you play scout team offense, kind of like how I was on
Yeah.
practice squad. It
Yep.
was like that, bro. I was on practice squad, just going up top on the varsity defenders. So our number one receiver who got hurt, he was like, bro, no, put BJ in. Like, so they moved me up from JV corner to starting varsity
Varsity
receiver,
receiver.
and then that's how I took off. Like,
Oh, that's
and
awesome.
then it was on from there. I was starting, got a just scholarship, and then it was on.
How tall were you then, or how big were you? Because you playing soccer, you're probably pretty lean. You still are
Yeah,
pretty lean, but how big were you your sophomore year? Do you remember?
I was 6 feet, probably 170.
Oh, that's not bad then. That's not bad. I was
Nah.
5'10", 170 when my senior in high school.
Oh, my senior year, I was like, 6'1", like 180. So I'm guessing I had to be like, around 170.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That sounds about right, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Now,
160.
having that, you travel around, like you said, you're not having much of connection with the soccer team, basketball and football teams. You got more connections, feel like you have more things in common with. Was it just easy for you? Like when soccer, you talk about going playing that Bolivia team. Now you're coming back playing teams in high school. Was it just too easy for you that at that point it was like, man, it's pointless because one, I'm having success. It's really easy. Nothing challenges me at this level. And two, nobody cares.
That's exactly what it was. Now that you say that, yeah, that's exactly what it was. Nobody cares, and it was just like, I'm nice, I'm good. I guess I didn't really see the bigger picture with it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's exactly how I was feeling. I was like, man, nobody cares. Like I'm balling. I'm playing against the same guys. Like I don't even want to play club soccer because I want to play because AAU and club soccer kind of used to clash a little bit.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I'm hooping right now. I'm doing good, So, and I feel like it just came a time where I just had to choose, and it was more so not more so what I was good at, it was more so what was like good for me, like fun for me, And I went trying something new,
Did any schools offer you any scholarships for soccer? Even though that you quit playing,
nah.
did any schools like say, hey, you did really well at this? Like, do you ever think about getting back in it? Did anybody offer you a basketball scholarship, or what happened there with the scholarship front?
Yeah, so soccer, I didn't get any college offers or anything because I feel like I stopped playing. I stopped playing at like 15, 15, so I was done. But basketball, I had two, Robert Morris and Toledo wanted me to play both.
Okay.
So I'll take that. You feel
Yeah.
me? But other than that, that's it.
So now your decision is football and basketball, which it feels like basketball is probably your first love, or soccer, then basketball, and then football. How do you decide to go to Michigan State and play football?
Man, you breaking me down right now. All right, so you ready? All right, so I remember how I told you I didn't see the big picture when I was playing soccer, right? Like as far as like me being real good. As I got good at football, and I seen like I was getting looks, and you know how you start getting letters, not scholarships, but mad letters in the mail from like everybody in the country. It kind of like stroke the ego just a little bit. You get the lead class, go meet with coaches and stuff, So I was getting that for football. I wasn't really getting that for basketball, like every once in a while. You know what I'm saying? And then it came time, like I remember I got invited to this like a spring game or something. It was at Michigan State or Penn State. It was, I think, one of them schools. And then I had the choice to go to that or go to this showcase for basketball, because the coaches wanted me to come, spring game. They want you to come meet you and, fill you up and, see what kind of how big
see if you look good getting off the bus.
You might get a scholarship just walking off the bus. You never know. That happened with me at Cincinnati. You never know. You know what I'm saying?
6'3" on paper. So, they got to see you 6'1". You're 6'3" on
exactly.
Paper. Make sure you're right.
Right. So I was like, man, I feel like that's when I made my decision. So I was like, and quick in my head, I was like, dang, it's 2 rounds in the NBA. It's 7 rounds in the NFL. I'm about to go to the spring game. I played the odds, man. Like I'm 6'2", I'm not 6'4". Like I was like, I played my odds. And I ain't gonna lie, my high school basketball coach, I know he was disappointed, man. Like that was my guy. He gave me my diploma and everything. That was my guy. I know he wanted me to go and just test the waters with the basketball stuff, but I feel like I was confident in my decision. I feel like it worked out for the best, you know what I'm saying? But you know,
You're a great athlete, though, man. You know, that's one of the biggest things that people don't understand is how great of an athlete you are. And there's only two guys that I can think of. You know, when you look at the soccer aspect, you know, you look at somebody or three. You look at Chad Johnson, Ocho Cinco,
yeah,
great athlete, great athlete. But if you look at the feet work, right, he's got great
crazy.
footwork, man. He can get in and out. I remember on sports science, he ran a 10-yard sprint and then he ran a 10-yard curl and they timed it. And he got in and out of his, well, from the time he got from there to the 10 yards was the same speed, but he finished with a curl, right? So he was running just as fast as a sprint in that curl, right? And it's just like, that's crazy because like I talk a lot about tempo. You know, my style is tempo, right? I don't think a lot of people can run full speed and make breaks. They put their bodies in bad positions. So it's for them being able to process that, run with tempo or run with pace and be able to make your breaks. But Chad, dude, that's just
Bro.
incredible. But it all comes from soccer, the footwork that he had. You know, I grew up playing soccer, and another guy, Keith Stokes. Like Keith Stokes is crazy, ridiculous. Like if you ever watch some of his highlights, you can watch them on YouTube. The dude just his footwork on punt return, kick return, running back, receiver. You know, he's one of those rare guys that was able to play. He was a returner naturally. He was smaller. He's only like 5'7", 5'6", 5'7". So he played running back. He's more like a scat back kind of guy. But even at that size, he could go out and play in the slot in the CFL. He started a game at running back. He started a game at receiver. And he's able to go out there and be effective, get open, run routes. You know, most running backs run with short steps because they play in small spaces. But he's able to open up his stride, and his feet work, man, just allows him to get anywhere he wants on the football field.
And I'm saying soccer keeps it natural. It's like it naturally, you don't need like bro, I didn't touch a ladder until I started playing football, bro. But I knew what to, I was killing it when I just knew like it was natural already. You know what I'm saying? So, wow.
Dude, that's super crazy. So when you make the decision, you're going to go to Michigan State.
Yeah.
How'd you make that decision?
I mean, it was a no-brainer, bro. It was, at the time, it was the biggest school that had offered me, I felt like, you know.
Okay.
I got invited. You know, it's crazy. I kind of like not bullied them for a scholarship, but like kind of forced my way in the door. Because I had like all MAC offers, and like I had like West Virginia and Cincinnati and like some other schools, good schools, but no like, no big times, but I remember like I said, I got off it was like going into my senior year, my junior year going into my senior year, my coach took me and my quarterback to Cincinnati. And that's when Coach D'Antonio was in Cincinnati. And boom, right there, they saw my first year playing receiver highlight tape. They was like, "We want you." Coach Treadwell, the offensive coordinator / receiver coach at the time, offered me a scholarship. I remember to this day. Boom, we get back in the car, head back. I tell my mom, she's happy, all this, woo woo. Bro, like a month later, I'm walking in the building. My one of my special teams coaches is like, "What are you gonna do?" D'Antonio left. I was like, "What are you talking about?" He was like, "D'Antonio left and went to Michigan State." He's like, "Did he text you? Did he let you know anything?" I'm like, man, I didn't want to say no. I was like, "I don't know. Let me check when I get home or something. Let me see." So, man, what I do as soon as I get home, I had the Coach Treadwell's number, the receiver coach, coordinator. I text him like, "Hey man, I heard y'all went to Michigan State. I'd love to come if you guys would have me." Bro, he texted me back like 2 days later, like, "Yeah, we'll set up a visit to come to your high school." Woo, woo, woo. So it was wintertime. He came to my basketball game, met up with my mom before the game, I guess, and came to the game, bro. I dunked on somebody in the game. I had like 30 points. It was amazing, bro. Then he was like, "All right, cool. I want to take you come meet the boss man, set you up an official visit." Bro, I went up there. I saw the campus, I saw everything, bro. I was at Michigan State. I was like, and Coach D, he's kind of like territorial. Like he's like, if I
Okay.
offer you a scholarship, I want to know something now before you leave. Like, ain't no, I don't know, I need to wait. Either it's a verbal or you not, or it's a no.
Or they're gonna rescind the scholarship.
Yeah. You
Pretty
know what
much.
I'm saying? So like, yeah. So that's pretty much what I got.
You gonna get this Costco membership.
Yeah. It's like, bro, you got about 2 minutes. Like, think about it. I was like, all right. I was like, shoot, I'm in. What's up? Where I signed? So I was right there. Miles was with me, and we just signed it. And then I came back with a scholarship to Michigan State, bro. Crazy.
Was there any older players that you kind of learned from at Michigan State, and that you gravitated to when you got there?
I'm trying to think. Older players, bro. Honestly, man, it was that's when I first got to Michigan State. It was every man for itself, bro. We weren't getting no help. It wasn't nobody.
Really?
Like our freshman class, we was just in there, like, because mind you, it was Coach D's first year, so we kind of like his babies pretty much. So we like his class.
You're his first
You know what I'm saying?
recruiting class.
Yeah. So they was kind of like it wasn't no, everybody coming in learning a new offense. Everybody, coaches don't know who none of these guys are, so the freshmen got, they can come in and take your spot if you ain't ready. So they wasn't nobody trying to help nobody. So that's what I seen when I was like, I'm gonna make sure it ain't like this when I get older. Like, no, this shit whack. It was a man for us, which is cool, which made me better, at that time. You know what I'm saying? But it was I was cool with my best friend, Mark Dale, bro. Like our birthdays was a day apart. We was like the same dude. It was crazy. That was my boy. He played receiver also. But he started his freshman year and I redshirted. So like I got to see how what happened with him. And then I kind of got to move in and move, move how I moved. But as far as like older leadership, when I first got there, nah, not too much.
I always talk about competition and just the ability to go out and compete. Everything that you had been through, traveling an AAU circuit, all the soccer that you played, when it came to showing up at Michigan State, was it just another phase, like just another level? Don't overthink it. I've competed against some of the greatest athletes in the world in different sports. Like, how did you attack it? Like, to go and do what you did there, how did you attack it to set yourself apart to have the success you had there?
Man, I'm going to keep it real. So I told you I really started playing receiver my junior year of high school, right?
Yeah.
So by the time I got, college is a little more advanced than high school as far as offenses and stuff. So I knew physically, I knew I could go out here and compete with all the receivers. It was the mental aspect of it. It was knowing as I'm running my route, if I see a linebacker blitz on a 52 protection, I'm hot. I couldn't get that. I couldn't get that my first year in college. That's why I got rushed. I could catch the rock. I was dunking on cats. I was getting open, but it's more than that. That's when I learned like, I gotta get right. Yeah. I gotta get right. And I was like, okay, once I gotta keep mastering this stuff over here. I gotta really get in tune and hear. And that's what I try to hone in to these guys now. But that was the biggest thing for me. Like I knew I had it. Like I knew I could compete with the speed and all the physically.
Yeah.
But it was them. And then that's what made the game a little faster because I didn't know what was going on as much. And then once you know what's going on, it slows down and you can really know what's gonna come and know how to react before it come. Or like you was, bro. Like I tell people all the time, bro. When I play with you, when I got to Montreal, bro, we were like it's just like when I got to Canada, bro. We would be in the waggle, bro. You like, bro, you about to be hot? Just take go, run the diagonal. You gonna get it, touchdown. You gonna score, bro. I go run the diagonal and go score, bro. It was crazy, bro. I tell people that all the time. Like I had no clue what I was doing the first. Nick out here telling me in the waggle as I'm running my route, like I'm hot, like go. But see, I respect that because that's how I am. That's how I was in college. That's how I am now because I didn't get that. It was like, shoot, people telling me wrong plays or I don't know, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it was cool in the beginning just to know to get that, because it ain't everything ain't sweet, which is we know that, but to see how you would want some shit done, like I wouldn't, as a leader on the team or an OG or older guy on the team, I wouldn't want that. And I'm just taking pages out your book, bro. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like,
It's important because I always felt like no matter where we were, like even in training camp, I had some vets like, why you help the young guys so much? I'm like, well, I want them to have a good career. Like, regardless, I don't think they can beat me, right? I think I can hold my job. That's what we're here for, to compete every
right,
day.
compete, right,
So, I mean, I don't want to win a job because somebody don't know what to do or what they're
right,
doing.
straight up. Nah,
I want your
if you're gonna take
best,
my job,
right?
take it from me. Like, why were you
Yeah.
doing your best? I don't want you to be out here fucking up, like not
And then
knowing
you
your
can
shit.
go, but you can go to a different team and ball and be like, man, I appreciate what you did for me in training camp or whatever the case is, right? So
Exactly.
for me, like, I remember Eric Rogers was on our PR the whole year. Kamar Jordan was on our PR for 2 or 3 years before he got on the field, right, in Calgary. So having great young talent like that and being able to see these guys and to work with these guys on a daily basis is always about that process. I would never think in the back of my head that this dude can take my job
Right.
because I'm here to compete,
Right. That's why we here. That's why we
you know?
playing, bro.
And yeah, no, that's cool, man. That's super dope. But like when you went into Michigan State, you go through all that. Is there anything in you that says, hey, I want to be in the top 5, I want to be the top 1, I want to be the best receiver to come through here? Or is it just going out having fun and what happens happens?
Yeah, bro. I was just honestly, bro, I was going out there having a good time. Like, it was like coaches wouldn't tell me. It would be like media people telling me I would hit hit like a catch, thing. But oh, you're this far away. I'm like, oh, I had no clue until going into my senior year. I was close. Like, I was like, oh, I could, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, no clue. But yeah, man, I was just out there having fun, and it was just fun because I had room to grow. I was learning. Like, every day I was learning. I was learning. I was learning. I was learning stuff about the game. I was like, oh, okay, if I do this, I can do this. And it was fun because, like you say in college, like my mom told me, like, before I got to school, she's like, the people you meet in college most of the time gonna be like your homies for
Your
the rest of
lifelong
your life.
friends. Yeah.
Because you go through it, bro. Like, you broke, you try to figure out how you gonna eat. You know what I'm saying? You buying $8 gallons of liquor to take out to the parties. Like, who drinks? Who does that? But it's like memories, y'all. And then, like, me and my boy, I told you, my roommate Mark, we had the key. We had the key to the indoor facility. We were going out there after the club at 2 a.m, go in there and catch the rock on the judge. Go catch 200-300 balls. Go back to the crib. Wake up. Go back in there. Catch 200-300 balls. Run some routes. Go back to the crib. So it was more so like it was iron sharper iron, bro. And we was just getting each other right. And that's what we would be at the crib. We was roommates. We would be throwing the football, one hand catches with your offhand only. Just that type of stuff. Just throwing the ball around the house, breaking shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? But really getting ourselves better being little kids. You know what I'm saying? So honestly, I just feel like learning and having fun with the game and then everything after that just came. That's what I'm saying, bro. When I got to the league, I didn't feel that. I wasn't feeling like that. And I feel like that's why the stuff didn't come. Most stuff comes when you're not chasing it, bro. I
Yeah.
learned that in life, bro. Like, college, I wasn't chasing none of that. I wasn't chasing the receiving record. I wasn't chasing trying to get the most catches in a game. Like, but when I got to the league, it was like, all right, bet I'm here. Let's prove myself. And it was like, wait, why am I not playing? Why am I not playing? I'm out here balling in practice. Why am I not playing? Why are they bringing people in?
That
But I'm
mental
right
game.
here. Like, I was like, and I was stressed. I was tense, and it was on me, and it was probably coming off to my coaches and stuff, and that's probably how I'm coming off to people. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So
And that's in
it was
Miami?
like this was in Philly.
In Philly?
Yeah,
What
shoot,
happened in
Miami
Miami?
too. Miami was just like, bro, we had Hard Knocks there. It was what's his name was actually the OC, and he apologized to me when he was the head coach here. Sherman was the OC,
Oh,
and he wasn't rocking with me, I guess. And they was like, they was gonna put me on practice squad, and then Howie Roseman called my agent and was like, she would take him active and then practice squad, just to have me on the team. You know how I go. But yeah, man, like, I was with Sherm, and I was doing my thing, but you know, we had another guy, a guy go right around the same time as me, got drafted around the same time as me, and I guess they put him out, and you know, I felt some type of way. You know how I go. I had never been cut
Yeah.
in my life, so you know.
But you
And
got a
then me and him,
six-figure signing bonus. Most people don't get
yeah,
six-figure signing bonuses
yeah.
in the 6th round. Like that's a
Now they do.
now. I mean, I don't even know now if they do.
Really?
Yeah, like I'm thinking,
Oh,
you know, three through 4 or 3 through 5 is probably your rounds where you're gonna get the most. 6th
mhm,
and 7th round guys, you know, you're looking at $5,000 to $50,000 probably. Maybe some
mm,
guys that might have been elevated or thought they maybe this is a steal in the 6th round. We could have got him in the 5th or the 4th, but he lasted to the 6th. You
right.
know, so the thing is when you see things like that, it's like, man, that's a great contract you had. And
Yeah, yeah,
then to get released, what went through your mind? You said you first time you've ever been cut from
bro.
anything, and
It was honestly, man, like you said, like I said, never been cut from anything in my life. Honestly, it was probably like one of the most depressive moments. Like, you
wow,
know, like I tell people all the time, like our job is different because like, yeah, you might have to lose your job or something, and yeah, you gotta find
yeah,
a job, you're bad, depressed. Bro, we lose our job, it's on Twitter, everybody finds out about it,
hard
everybody from
knocks.
home, hard knocks, bro. I'll get there. Hard knocks, bro. It was, bro. I tried to turn my phone off. My Twitter was going crazy. I had people texting me, tweeting me, oh, I'm sorry, but talking stuff, talking shit. Like it was wild, man. Like,
And
but I had to
you
like,
can't just put a
get over
resume
it.
in to go get another job either. So it's like you
Nah,
got to
you just
sit and wait.
sit and
How
wait.
long was the wait? How long was the
Stay
wait before
ready,
you went to Philly?
bro. Like a day.
Well, that's
How he
good.
called me. How he called me. Cause like I ain't gonna lie, cause my agent was hot too. He was like, "What?" And then I guess you know how it go. And then, cause mind you, they took this guy. Philly had like was 2 picks after Miami, and they picked another Big Ten guy, Marvin McNutt from Iowa,
Yeah.
and like 2 picks after me. And then Howie called me like, "Yo, bro, like we really was trying to get you, but Miami grabbed you. Like, what's good?" I was like, "Say less." On the way, got there, and then same type of shit happened for real. But in my head, I wasn't thinking like, let me just stay here, grind it out, go on practice squad, move my way up. I was like I said, I was chasing,
I
trying to
need to
get
be
on
the
the field,
man.
and
Yeah.
I need to be the because mind you, everybody, I'm the man in college. I was thinking like, I need to play, I need to play, I need to be on the field. I'm going to a team with D-Jack, Riley Cooper, Jeremy Macklin, Jason Avant. They stacked the receiver, bro. I was tripping. I was tripping.
The
Just on
mindset.
some ego shit, trying to like, man, y'all don't want me? Bet I'm out. Cool. Say less. I don't want y'all leaving.
What was your projection when you were going in the draft? Were you projected to be a, you know, a 6th or 7th round pick, or
Yeah, I was projected. I was like, yeah, like fifth. Yeah, sixth, fourth. I was like fourth, fifth. But I thought projected. My agent was talking about, but you know, I go six was. I was getting paid. I turned it off actually. Turned the draft off.
really?
Playing video games and shit. Yeah, I was like, man. Sister upstairs getting ready for prom and shit. I was like,
But
it was crazy.
it's a hard transition to pro sports, especially with you think about it. Everybody had success in college in order to get to the pros,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And just the mentality that you attacked that at, right? I think I was kind of fortunate in the way mine happened. Um, you know, no expectation at all. So to go out
Mm-hmm.
there and do something, I'm going to exceed the expectation. You know, you would put an expectation on yourself. You know, your
Mm-hmm.
friends and family put expectations on you, and you know your ability to compete, like to show up and say, you know what, put anybody out here, I'll compete with them. That's a rare thing. But I mean, you had done it for so long at such a bigger stage than playing a high school another team in high school. Like you're playing for national championships in high school. You're playing for the worlds in soccer, right? So it's like
Yeah.
your compete level is on such a different frame that you get to the NFL 3 years with Philly, PR off the PR, PR off the PR. how was that process to go 3 years and just, you know, to struggle mentally? How did you ever find it? Or how was this that whole 3 years in Philly?
Bro, I'm gonna keep it real. The team was great. Teammates were great. Locker room was great. Andy Reid, I had him his last year in Philly, great dude. Then we had Chip Kelly after that. And what happened was he kind of started bringing his guys in. And it was guys that had never, like guys that went to Oregon that were PR guys on other teams, putting them ahead of me. And it was just messing with my head. And I was just like, bro, how are these guys ahead of me? Like, so I'm going out extra hard in practice, balling, not talking to nobody, like, you know, like in my like on some gully shit for real, like not trying to, you know what I'm saying? And then it didn't click into my head until I got released from Philly and I was waiting. I was on the couch for I had a balled out in the preseason game. Balled out. Had a touchdown. I sprung the running back free on a pancake block on a screen for a touchdown. Like I was doing my thing, bro. Got cut the next day. Bro, Chicago called me 2 days later, workout. A few months later, they picked me up, brought me in, and I saw Brandon Marshall there, who's my dog. That's my boy. And you know, he was cool. I was there with him and Alshon. Like it was a good receiver core. Mike Bro was there. It was our receiver coach. And people talk about B. Marshall, but he was a good dude, man. And he was always trying to like he helped. He didn't even know me. I got there like October. They was like 2-8 or something like that. Something. We had a terrible year. It was actually Trestman was my coach. It was crazy.
Oh,
wow. Trestman was my head coach. And we used to have talks all the time. And so yeah, B. Marshall's there, but he actually like was he was a little wild, but he was positive wild. Like one to get better, team to do better wild. Not like like it was you know what I'm saying, it was good. But he was teaching us like, you know, little stuff to add to our game or how to help on a play. It was little stuff that just vets do, which helped. But I ain't gonna lie, my second chance was the CFL, bro. And I approached that way different than I did the NFL. I got a call from Nick Moore right before I got here. He was like, hey, bro, don't come in here thinking this shit sweet. Like, you about to just come out here because you played in the NFL thinking you about to just come start and be the man. I was like, all right, bet. That was God telling me, bro, come in here on some humble shit, be humble and have humility and don't go in here crazy because you may not say it, but it's going to be seen and people know. And it's people, lookies can sniff it out up here. I peeped it. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So, and if it wasn't for Nick, I'm not saying I'd have came up here cocky and stuff, but I'm just saying I probably been more reserved than I was. Like, you know what I mean? And, you know, not talking to people as much and all that. But yeah,
we had
he
a good
warned me
group.
like, bro, our group was a man. That's what I'm saying. I was blessed to come into that group, man, with a bunch of
Sammy
vets.
G.
Sammy, you, SJ, Fred, who else was it? Alex. We had a nice little group, bro.
Yeah, we had a really good group of vets, right?
Yeah.
Sam had played 5-6 years for the Colts and then a couple years in Hamilton before coming there. Me and him were new there, and Fred was new there. And you know, we had the backfield with Suddy and Rutt and Lowe and everybody. So I felt like we had a really good, close-knit group offensively and defensively, you know, in Montreal. It was a great, stable situation for players. I mean, front office and everything was kind of messed up a little bit, but as far as the locker room goes, there was enough mix of really good, you know. Cody was there. Cody Hoffman was a young guy as well.
Cody,
right. So we had a good mix of young receivers and vets. And I always remember, man, you came in and you did your thing, man. You was out there running around in practice. But I think the biggest thing to me was you always came and sit by me in meetings. It was always like, man, I'm sitting right by you.
Hell yeah.
And, you know, and I was like, well, let's get it.
Bro, I ain't gonna lie, because like I said, like I did my homework, and then I would see you I would see how you was like talking. I was like, bro, this makes sense. I need to pick his brain. I need to see what he on. And not no disrespect to any of the other guys. It was just that you were more like, how can I say, like assertive with it, as far as like letting people know, like, yo, we gotta do this, or what if we, we can also do it like this, or like, bro, you need to fix your. You would like give me little hints at practice. I'm like, okay, yeah, I need to be with this dude, like, you know what I'm saying. So like, I'm a sponge with a lot of stuff. I'll see a cooking recipe, boom, remember it, try to add my little twist to it, and that's how I am with important information that I feel is good for me that I need to know. I'm gonna keep it and use it. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I was doing with you, bro. Like, you was talking that talk, I was listening, bro, and you be in meetings like telling me woo 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 woo. I was like, bet, like, and then look what happened on the field, bro. You got me right.
And then
You know what I'm saying?
I told you, I said, man, you remind me of Kenyon so much. From the way you can run, the way you can get in and out of breaks, and do those things. And for me, I watched Kenyon when he first came from the NFL. And a little inconsistent. He'd make great catch, drop an easy one. But like, you couldn't stop Kenyon, man. He runs so well, but he was in and out of his breaks really good as well, and he could run any route in the playbook. And I was like, man, this dude. I was like, because I seen Kenyon as one. He was like 8 years older than me, and that's one of those guys that's like, man, you just don't see that every day. I've always thought Kenyon was the best receiver I've seen live.
Bro, listen, I've told you, I'm from Columbus, Ohio.
Yeah.
I go to school, Ohio State. What number did he wear? 4. What number did I wear in high school? 4. I wasn't Santonio Holmes. I wore 4 because of
KY, man.
Bro, and I had no clue he wore 85 in the league, bro, in the CFL. Keon Rambo, like, I used to watch him, bro. Like, I told you, my dad used to work with the Young Scholars program at Ohio State. So, like, he knew all the athletes and stuff. Like, he would take the underprivileged, like, kids from the city, take them to Ohio State, give them a little, like, he would get them right. You know what I'm saying? And like, when he was working there, of course, he got cool with, like, the Mike Wileys, the you know what I'm saying, them dudes, you know what I'm saying? Because my dad was also on the frat, so those frat guys that play football. So So but yeah, bro, like, when you told me about Kenyon, I remember I got to the league, I was like, bro, this is my favorite receiver when I used to watch Ohio State, bro, when he had Steve Belisari and shit.
Yeah.
People don't remember them days, bro. I'm telling you, bro. Like, I feel it, bro. Like, that's like, and then he played with you in Calgary, and I'm out here picking your brain.
Like 6
you
years,
see how my
man.
brain was working, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn. I went the all-time leading receiver who played with one of my favorite receivers growing up. Like,
yeah.
I was like, bro, how can I, you know what I'm saying? I can't mess this up. I got a ball, you know what I mean? And then shit, you took me under your wing, bro. And then shit, it was on. You got me right.
Yeah, I was fortunate when I came in because I had Wayne McGarity, Salacio Sanford, and Albert Connell in my corner. That, I remember, coming straight and not going to NFL, coming straight to Canada. And, I started the first preseason game because every time they said the stars get in the huddle, I went in the huddle till somebody kicked me out. And then finally they said, stay in. Right. And I remember one day at practice, Wayne was like, man, I think you're the best receiver I've seen come straight out of college in a long time. And AC looked and says, I agree with that. And for me, that gave me so much confidence.
What? That's
because,
juice, what?
You know what I'm saying? Because they both played in the NFL. AC had 1,000 yards in the NFL with the Redskins. And it was just like, I grew up watching Wayne play at Texas and AC played A&M. So it's like, I felt it. So to get that, and then for the next year, Cope and Rambo and Marte Jenkins come in, and they helped me along the way, being 22, 23 years old. Now you got these vets, Cope coming off of 1,800-yard season a couple years before that. So now he's like, bro, one of the reasons I came here is because of you, right? And then it's like, well, let's go. And they poured into me so much. I learned so much from Cope. And I felt like it was an obligation for me to do the same thing with all these guys, man. And even when SJ went down, you know, I knew I was kind of pissed off because SJ goes down. I'm like, well, I'm about to move to SJ spot.
Yeah.
And then they moved you to SJ spot.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? And those were the different things because I knew SJ got the rock.
But yeah, and you knew that, and you knew what I was stepping into, but you was like, come on. You was like helping me, like, you know what I'm saying? Because I wasn't my position that year, but year before that, I was playing on the ball. Like, you know, it was different for me at the time. So you was like, all right, bro, if you're gonna do this, let's do this. I remember Jock told me in his office too it was like after I started doing good, it was like a home game. And he put me in his office the next morning, like, all right, man. You better tighten up. It's time to tighten up. I was like, he was like, SJ went down. He was like, all right. Told him can BJ do it? I was like,
see, for me, I knew the importance of that position to win.
Yeah.
And like even when I went in and talked to Jock, after I seen the depth chart, I said, and Jock looked at me, honestly, he goes, you're not Geronimo anymore. So when I first came to the league, I had an alter ego named Geronimo Jones. And so everybody used to call me Geronimo. And then so Jock looked at me, he goes, well, you're not Geronimo anymore. Him and AC were sitting there. And I said, well, I don't have to be Geronimo. I'm still a cold motherfucker. Like, I looked at him just like that, said just the same thing. And he looked, and he goes, no, you can still go. I said, exactly. But I walked out and I said, here's my biggest thing. Don't tell me what I can't do. Either prove me wrong or whatever. But even after that, we rotated a lot too. We would do a lot of switch motions, and I'd go over,
you was there,
doing stuff. And like you said in that one play where I'm motioning over to your side and I'm tired, like then on the red zone, I said, BJ, take this whole shot. I said, BJ, take this whole shot. You gonna score.
They'll feel open. Safety low.
You were like, what? I said, take the whole shot, take the whole shot. I was like, man, I don't know if I'm gonna get there.
Bro, you had got the rock like 4 times in a row or something, bro. It was crazy. We was moving the ball. Bro, I remember that, bro.
And I was like, man, I'm not gonna make it. I'm not gonna make it to the whole shot. So I'm like, BJ, take the whole shot. BJ, take the whole shot. You took the whole shot. I circled around, went back underneath, touchdown.
Touchdown.
I'm like, good job, bro.
That's fucking comedy, bro. My dog, man. That's hilarious. I remember that play too.
It's about winning, though. Like we show up to win games, and that's our goal is to win. And you know, you don't make that decision. And I want you to be successful, and I want all the receivers there to be successful. So it was just, you know, I was honored that you wanted to sit by me and do those things, just like SJ in training camp. When I'm helping, you wasn't there that time, but I'm helping Jerry Rice Jr. and a lot of those guys out. And, you know, he just comes, SJ's like, hey, bro, what about me? Don't forget to tell me what I'm doing wrong. I'm like,
right. We want to help too.
I'm not about to sit here and tell you what you're doing wrong or help you out. But if you want it, then let's go. Like, because, you know, I'm new there. I'm not going to come in and just be like, hey, you need to, right? But at that moment, I seen how open he was to wanting to learn. And I think that's the best part about being an athlete. Like you said earlier, always been open to learn, always been able to grow, always been able to push yourself to be the best you can be. Because at the end of the day, that's all you want to do is be like, man, what does that greatness feel like? What does it feel like to get to that level? Right. No, and I feel like you're right there too. You broke your wrist last year or 2019, yeah. 2019, you broke your wrist. You're having a good year. What's next, man? What's next for BJ? You know, you didn't get to play last year because of the canceled season. It's been a long time since you've been on the field.
Yeah.
How you feeling about this year?
I'm feeling good, bro. I mean, I just, like I said, every situation, you know, I try to be optimistic. What can I get out of it? I just gave it as, you know, more time for maybe if something wasn't, but more time for my wrist to heal, get better, stronger, strengthen it up. But like I said, I've been working out. I've been hitting the field. I'm not worried about. I've been getting hit since I got to this league. I've been getting smacked. Got my ribs touched a couple times. Yeah, Kai, Bruno, the boys opened me up a little bit, my ribs a little bit. But nah, other than that, bro, like I feel like if anything, I've gotten more explosive. I'm still running routes. I'm making sure my feet are tight. Like I said, I'm ready, bro. I'm staying ready. That's one thing I'm not worried about. Is the physical aspect. Like I said, it's this COVID stuff. Not being able to see the family a lot. You gotta stay in touch with them, all that stuff. I went home like around the same time you did for the holidays to see my family. But yeah, other than that, just been trying to stay in touch with them. I got my family business at the crib. We running that. But other than that, man, just staying afloat, man. And when it does come time for camp and preseason, I'm hitting the ground running, bro. I'm gonna be ready.
You seen Vernon come in 2015, and the mentality that he had, and now you see Vernon the last 3 years. Dude, that's got to be exciting to see who he's grown into, to go to work with him every day, and to understand that he's going to give you a great chance to win every game you're in. How you feel about that, knowing that you got a quarterback that can get it done and be able to go out there and just have fun again?
Bro, it's amazing, bro. It gives like I know what I can do. I know what I can, but the fact that we have a quarterback who's confident in himself, confident in the offense, confident in the coaches, knows what he needs to do. Like I can't even count on both your hands or both my hands how many balls I caught from a quarterback in a game in Montreal. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, and I remember when Vernon got here in 2015, bro, he's grown so much, he's matured so much. Like, but I never got to like ball with him while he was the starter, while he was the guy. And that's what I want to do. I seen what he's done. I played with him before, but it was always like, he's fighting for a spot. You know what I'm saying? It's something like that, which is fine. I'm still getting good, like balling Vern, but now I got comfortable Vern who balling and wanna, you know what I'm saying? It's different when you start and
different.
You can, you got some leg room, wiggle room. So once I never got the ball with Vern, that's why I'm so excited about this season, because I want to play with my dog and the receiver core we have. We just signed Quan back.
Yep.
I saw that, bro. We about to. I feel like, you know what I'm saying? People chilling on us, and I'm cool with that. Keep us where we at, and then we're gonna take off, bro. I'm excited. It's gonna be fun.
You have one of my favorite guys over there, Kahari Jones. Kahari was my quarterback the last 5 games of my rookie year.
For real?
We didn't have a playbook. Dunnigan basically told Kahari, and all of our plays are off a number system. You can ask Kahari about it. He'd come in and be like, okay, you run a 4, you run a 5, you run a corner right here, and y'all run hitches. That was basically every play in the huddle was Kahari just basically creating this kind of
drawing
a playbook,
up plays in the dirt,
whatever he thinks going to work. Straight Madden, no huddle, almost hot routes and different things, right? So that was kind of how we did things the last 5 games. And, I tell people that and be like, yeah, I still went over 1,000 that year with 7 different quarterbacks. But Kahari come in, but it just has this calming effect, right? Dude just got a calming effect. He's got some charisma. I used to call him Reverend Jones because he talks like a preacher. You know what I'm saying? He gets in that rhythm like a preacher. Like even 2 years ago, I heard him cuss, and I said, "Oh, Kahari, when you start cussing?" After the game y'all won and everything. But it looks like y'all having fun. My time in Montreal, we used to always say undefeated in the locker room, but it wasn't a lot of fun outside of it. Right? Looks like y'all are having fun. Looks like you got definitely the right pieces in place to be successful. How you feel about Kahari, Robert Gordon, and just everything coming together now? Because you've seen the dark days, and now to be able to be in position to make another run at winning the East.
Oh man, it's amazing to see how far it's come, and to see like Kahari be there before when it was bad, and then finally probably Kahari I know is a smart man. He would probably be like, okay, I probably wouldn't do this, probably wouldn't do this, probably wouldn't do that. As soon as he took over, boom, 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 boom. We're doing this now, we're doing that now. Like it was more relaxed. And he knew the type of team he had, he could have a relaxed work environment and still have guys show up and come to work, come to practice every day. And that's what he instilled in the locker room, man. And like I said, he would let us, he would, you know what I'm saying? He would let us do our thing in the locker room, you know, clown around, play basketball, you know, do our thing. But when it came time for business, came time for film, came time for practice, all that, it was let's go. Like, but at the same time, it's not like I don't know, man. It's just he's just a real good dude, and he knows what he's doing, and he doesn't show like he's stressing out. He doesn't give off like he's tense. He'll just be like, all right, man, like, you know what I'm saying? He gonna come to you like, you know, I know you messed up. Like, come on, let's go. It happens. Come on, next play, let's get it. Like, we grown men. Like, it's no need to be like, what are you doing? And the MF and all that. Like, it's save your energy.
You already know you messed up.
Like, we know we messed up. We already feel bad. Like, you know, that's not gonna help. So, you know, boom, boom. All right, bet. Okay, bet. Next play, boom, let's go. All right, you know what to do. You know what I'm saying? And it won't happen again. Awesome. You know, he don't dwell on stuff. Like, that's what I'm saying. Coaches that dwell, you can't, that's just bad energy. Like, he doesn't dwell on anything. It's next play, keep it moving, let's go. And that's what I respect about Coach Gordon. That's
funny. He 51 now.
Let him tell it. He played till he was 48, though. Now that's my dog, though. He's good people, man. You know, last year was his first year. He was more so just. We also had
Marquay.
He was a lot of help last year with Coach Gordon too. You know, Coach Gordon had been out of it for a while, and you know, Marquay was still fresh.
That's another guy that I had with me for about 4 or 5 years in Calgary that I poured into a lot, and you know,
I could tell. Yeah. Me and him had some. We used to rap. He's good people, man. He's good people.
Yep.
And I remember we used to play Calgary. He used to go crazy on this. me and you was in Montreal together. I'll be like, this 16 cat going crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. So
how many more years you want to play?
Man.
You're 31 now.
3.
If you got to choose it, 3? 3 more years? Then what's next after that?
Man, so I kind of want to I told you I have my business back at the crew. We have a consulting construction business. I mean, that's boring stuff. But other than that, man, I want to be able to so I told you I'm training kids out here.
Yep.
And all of my guys are college coaches in the States. Like all of my friends I grew played with, guys I played with out here, like, you know, taekwondo, you know, guys like that.
Yep.
So I'm trying to figure out a way how I can help these kids, help some kids here or back in my hometown and set up you know, camps and combines where these coaches can come check them out. And cause not everybody can get to the Nike camp or get to the, you know what I'm saying? You know, get some compliance rules together. I'll figure all that out, the logistics and all that. But essentially I want to be a liaison for these kids who don't really get an opportunity to get exposure to these coaches that I know are right here, and they know some coaches and we just can come out to Montreal for a week and see some weekend and see some kids and, you know, go get some dinner in the evening. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
You know, but so that's why I'm trying to figure that out right now. And you know, I feel like that would be something I would want to do. It'd be you know, I could put time and energy into it. It would be fun. Still get to work with kids too, but also want to help grow in places where they can't get out of exposure.
That's good, man. Well, I appreciate you stopping by, man. Telling your
story.
I
appreciate you having me, man. You the man, bro. You my dog.
Telling the story, man, because you know, a lot of people don't understand what's behind everything that people go through and why. You know, so many guys that come up from the NFL to the CFL, and some have success, some don't. But at the end of the day, most of them say it comes back to maturity and their headspace when they got to the NFL, right? And being able to come to the CFL allows them that chance to play free again. And then some of them choose to go back, some of them choose to stay. And that's perfectly fine because that's how it works. But I just want to appreciate you for stopping by, man, the Lulu Logic podcast. Man, it's been a blast.
My man, no, I appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you having me.
Indeed, and we out.
My dog.